we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with a cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Beat in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. They fit their disease. Rage is like a weed, spread into the streets. Time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Flip gods into weak and harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.
Welcome, one and all,
Welcome,
to ADRL and the podcast. The Big Head Kenny Nowling.
Dr. Fears.
Yeah, forgive the instead of the, we've had a day, man.
I mean, it's pretty crazy exactly what heat can do. Typically you're just not used to this type of 120-degree record-setting, oppressive, humid kind of heat. You know what to expect with like really cold, right? Like batteries are dying and, furnaces going out, shit like that. When it starts to hit this spectrum, all kinds of other weird shit starts happening. Yeah, the AC doesn't work, but then all of a sudden cars are acting funny and things are just weird and outages. And anyways, I digress. It's hot and shitty.
All I can tell you is this, brother. It's got me in a bit of a mood. Before we dive in, let me just say that the Big Head's opinions are just that. They're the Big Head's opinions. Kenneth N. Nowling Sr., Kenneth Neil Nowling Sr., Neil after Neil Diamond. My mom was a big Neil Diamond fan, God rest her soul. I can tell you this, Dr. Fears, there's a lot of things going on in the drag racing world. And first and foremost, I want to send our well wishes out. You and I talked about it earlier today. The People's Champ, Scotty Palmer, unfortunately wrecked Stoodzilla. I was there to see it make its maiden voyage at Jeffers Motorsports Park. He was at a Nitro Chaos event, and unfortunately, you're driving a Pro Extreme car with a top fuel engine in it. So, you know, bad things can happen. Thankfully, a broken wrist and some banged up bruised ribs and a few stitches and a couple black eyes. But listen, nothing's going to keep Scotty from being back on the track, I can assure you. Scott Palmer will be back in a top fuel car in no time, and it won't surprise me at all if he gets another top fuel pro mod put together. Wouldn't surprise me.
You know, from a racer standpoint, those are things you're mentally prepared for anyways, right? Like you're ready for it.
When I started racing Super Street, I knew bad things happen. I mean, you know, these cars, there's a reason that God made a horse, and then we learned how to ride a single horse. And I know I've said this and I've used this before, but it's so that we don't have to worry about falling off of two and the other one running us over. Well, we pushed the limits, and a current estimated horsepower for a Pro Extreme car, 4,500 to 5,000. For a top fuel car or a nitro funny car, 10 to 11,000, depending on
11, yeah.
So, I mean, just as I've said before, take 11,000 horses and strap one wagon to it. Yeah. Good luck.
I think that'd actually be a pretty cool thing to test, to actually see.
Maybe we could do that. I know we'd have to set a record if we've got 11,000 horses on the same place at the same time. So with that, it's 150 million degrees everywhere. I'm not complaining because that's the way it is here in St. Louis. It's even for St. Louis, just it's oppressive. Let's just call it what it is.
Oh, for sure, it absolutely is. I mean, and I know that it's
basement.
It's wreaking havoc on you. You're in your basement. I'm in my basement. We're not even at the office.
Yeah,
Prince Adam's in his basement. You know,
so we got a AC unit at the office. It just can't keep up. It got up when I left. It was 81 degrees inside that baby.
Yeah, it was a cookie.
You know, it's so. At any rate,
yeah.
Back to how do we say, an incoming message from the big giant head. There's been a lot of, shall we say, scuttlebutt. And again, let me get the legal spiegel whatever out of the way. These are my opinions, not the opinion of Adrenaline Event Promotions LLC, Dennis Ryan Fears, the doctor, any of our affiliated sponsors, marketing partners, track partners, nobody. I am all about growing the sport of drag racing. I've invested my entire adult life into it, starting back when I was promoting local races to humbly being able to go to Darlington, South Carolina when the great Larry Hensley was still the manager, and Jeff Burke with Drag Racing Online and I put on a race where Mitch Stott became the first pro mod into the fives. Now there's information out there flying around because there's no fact checkers anymore. There's no journalists. Would you agree with that or disagree, Dr. Fears?
No, I completely agree. It's pretty much just say whatever the fuck you want to suit your agenda and hope somebody doesn't call your bullshit on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the deal. So let me just take you through a quick little synopsis. Thanks to the passion and the financial support of Dave Wood and later Tommy Leeper, the NHRA Pro Mod Series even exists, okay? That's the only reason it's there. And they put out so many just wrong press releases about ETs and speeds and where we've run out, where we haven't. Whatever, dude. They should take that Wally, politely tell NHRA here this is for all the other classes, and they should do what you and I have decided to do for next year and create the Woody. Because the ADRL wouldn't exist either without Dave Wood. So with his permission, as soon as we talk, and I know he'll give his blessing, we'll have our own trophy. The Iron Eagle's going to make one last flyby down at the Rock, though.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and they will be sought after, the very final Iron Eagle before the 2024 tour starts and we start. And the reason I say that is Wally Parks, God rest his soul, he made drag racing what it is. He took it off the street. He brought in the NHRA safety safari. He made it what it is, bro. Okay. And he deserves all the credit and all the support in the world. The GOAT. Drag racing, in my opinion, exists in its current form as he's as responsible to that as James Naismith is to basketball. So, having said that, and having had the pleasure of being mentored by Wally Parks on several things and getting to know him, I don't begrudge anybody for doing anything, but it kind of hit a nerve, and I played a little politically correct. Robert Ty, Advanced Concrete Finishing, the sponsor of our 6.0 index class at the upcoming drag stock at the Rock, September 29th and 30th.
Much love, Robert.
He messaged in last week, and he wanted to know what I thought about this new pro superstar shootout. And I got to apologize to Big Head Nation, ADRL Nation. I didn't say what I really felt.
You were being say it. Just say you were being a pussy.
I was being a complete and utter pussy, which is what half our country is. Let's be politically correct. Let's do this. I don't want to even get into the direction of the country. We'll talk about that another time.
We'll leave that up to Oliver. I think he's doing a good job right now.
A good job taking care of that. And bravo, Oliver. Me and all the men, including this man right here on the screen next to me, who fought to defend our freedom, and this flag that's hanging behind me. Oliver, keep doing you. Jason, all you guys, keep doing you. I'm going to stick to drag racing, which is what I know best. And I will say this. From a period of 2004 to a period of 2010, and then off a few years, and then into 13, with Dave Wood's passion, financial investment, and great partners like Flowmaster, then the National Guard, Hardy, Safety Clean, Summit Racing Equipment, Mickey Thompson Tires. I can go on for days. Ram Clutches. I don't want to leave anybody out, but the list is too long.
Too long.
Sonny's Racing Engines, Jerry Bickle Race Cars, Jerry Haas Race Cars, Larry Jeffers Race Cars,
Bam,
Tim
bam, bam.
Cars, Tommy Mooney Race Cars. All the tire companies.
All of them.
Mickey Thompson, Hoosier, Goodyear. They were all main partners of the ADRL. And you know what they all had in common? They all had a bunch of racers who came to a series to race that didn't have to pay entry fees, that didn't have to pay their own purse, so they could afford to go out and buy a new set of Ross pistons, a new couple of Dayco blower belts, a new SpeedTech nitrous oxide system. So I'm just asking, and anybody can jump on. This isn't a personal attack on anybody involved in the pro superstar shootout. Thank you to the guys at Skag Power Equipment for getting behind my all-time fave, Timmy Wilkerson, Tony Schumacher, very good friend. They're sponsoring the deal. Listen, you've got right now in Pro Stock, in Top Fuel, and in Funny Car, you've got 13 to 16 of the wealthiest people in drag racing that are going to get together, that are going to put up their own money for the majority, if not all, the purse, okay? And listen, again, I love Wes Buck. This isn't an attack on Wes Buck or Alan Johnson or Pro or anybody involved. I just want to know just one question. Maybe you can answer it, Dr. Fears, and we can put it to bed. What is one race in February that is essentially a glorified test session, which is what they used to have back in the day? They had it in Phoenix, and then they did it in Palm Beach for a while, and they'd get together, and the track would let them test. They'd go and they'd race at the end of the weekend. The track would sell some tickets, make some of their money back. Good deal, okay? $1.3 million, I think, is what the purse is up to now. I'd like to see, just for fun, the financial breakdown of what the entry fees are. Tens of thousands, who knows? Okay? I apologize. Being politically correct isn't me. And it won't happen again, ADRL Nation, I assure you. This whole thing is a bunch of rich guys getting together, and let's just call it what it is. They're putting on a fucking killer gamblers race. It's going to be a good race. I mean, Victor Alvarez with Wade Rich prepping the track. Victor Antonio Alvarez has invested a shit ton of money into my home away from home, DeSoto Memorial Dragway, now known as Braden Motorsports Park. But Dr. Fierce, ADRL Nation, It's a gambler's race. We've all done it at big money bracket races or even at our local track on a Wednesday night test and tune. We all put up the money and we race for it.
That's right.
Okay? So what's the benefit? NHRA is on Fox Live with Brian Loans and Tony Pedregon doing a fantastic job. They're on Fox, one of the big four, live on Sunday afternoons. You can't get any better time slot than that.
Right.
Okay. Wally Parks once said to me, drag racing was not made for television, but we're going to do our damnedest to make it better. And you and I were watching Diamond P shows the other day, and it hasn't changed a whole lot because it's a sensory experience. You need to see it in person. So, hey, I'll be the first to tell you, if you live within driving distance or anywhere in the state of Florida, you can get to this Skag Power Equipment Pro All-Star Shootout or Superstar Shootout. Go. It'll be a good race. Okay, if you want to watch it, you can watch it on Flow Drag Racing or Flow Racing. Great. Tell me what it's doing for the long-term growth and health of our sport. Who's it impacting? How many extra parts are going to be bought? How many extra? It's a bunch of very wealthy guys putting their money into a pot and playing for a great big hand of poker. That's what it is.
Sounds like it.
Meanwhile, we're out here working 15, 18-hour days, busting our ever-loving asses, trying to get sponsors, okay, to put together a 6, 8, eventually back to a 10-race tour of touring professionals that don't have to spend $2,000 or $2,500 or $10,000 or $25,000 before the trailer door opens to pay their own fucking purse. How asinine is it? Excuse me, Mr. Cruz. Thank you for agreeing to do Top Gun 3, but we're going to need $1 million before you get on the set.
Oh, right.
Your buddies.
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
Well, it doesn't, is your answer.
So from a business standpoint, I'm asking you. You're not new to business. You're an entrepreneur. You've been hugely successful. You're new to drag racing from a ownership / financing and promoting and busting your ass and being on the phone, making calls all day, every day to bring money back into our sport, which will help Ram Clutches sell clutches, Hoosier Tires sell tires, Jerry Bickle race cars build race cars, Larry Jeffers build race cars and wraps and engines, PJS Racing Engines sell motors. You tell me what one weekend in February and then the qualifying turns into a chip draw and trying to pull things from that bastardized freaking street inbreds TV show that promotes illegal street fucking racing that kills people. Seriously. Doesn't mean I love any of these guys or gals any less, but I am, as they say, on the chip. It's hot. Our country's going to hell in a handbasket. We're so worried about what all. Listen, I love the sport of drag racing. My passion is the sport of drag racing. Unrivaled. Show me what one race in the spring, and it's okay. You're a promoter. You guys are going to promote it as the biggest thing ever and this, that, and the other. And I can't see Prince Adam. Is the Madman, because I'd like to bring him into some of this. Is he in the green room? Because we're all remote right now. We are way out of our element. We are not at the beautiful Adrenaline Promotion Studios.
There he is.
How y'all doing?
There.
What's up, my brother?
Oh, not too bad. How y'all doing?
Man, no complaints. No, Kenny's in his basement, so he's intermittent.
Madman, I just had to take a breather, take an adult beverage, and do it off camera. And then I've got texts flying in. So since I'm doing this from my phone, which is, it figures the night we're not in the studio, man, people are texting me like crazy. Preach it, brother. This. And we will re-air this. And Prince Adam, forgive me. We're going to put this out on Facebook because everybody needs to know this. You don't need to jump behind our paywall yet. We'll monetize that. Okay. Madman. That race that you ran down there, I love Westbrook. Hell, I humbly, as you know, the ADRL in the early days, Drag Illustrated covered the ADRL almost exclusively at the event we set the record at Houston in 2008.
Yep.
When we brought in people to actually count spectators, and we had over 43,000 real people there. Now, we've had larger crowds since. You've been there in St. Louis and Ennis and other Virginia and other places. But on that particular spring afternoon on Saturday in March in Baytown, Texas, not far from your home in Dickinson.
Right.
We had the single largest documented crowd in drag racing history. We have broken that record many times.
Yeah.
Madman, when you went down there to Bradenton, like these Top Fuel, Funny Car, and Pro Stock guys are getting ready to do, it was a gambler's race. Fair to say?
Basically a glorified test session, like you said. That's pretty much down there and tested. Now, we tested shit will never run because we don't ever run it 92 over at 3,000 pounds. But, I mean, that's what we had to do to be with the rules.
How much did you have to weigh? I'm on one right now, and you get on or so.
I think we had to be 2675.
Oh my
with a non-lockup, non-liberty, just regular old Linko drive. You know that junkie. They say it's junk, but yeah, I keep buying them, and I can go fast with them.
Let's just keep adding weight to these things because that's
what they do. Like that, I seen the Savages for sale for $233,000. I'm putting a plug in for him. His car weighs 2460 with nobody in it.
Okay, so there's a great point, and it's a good thing it's the Madman on because 3-time ADRL world champion, 3-time Pro Extreme world champion, 3-time drag stock champion. He don't need no fucking introduction.
Amen.
But anyway, the Madman Frankie Taylor, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that have been in a cave for the last 2 decades, 3 decades, I don't know. Yeah. Madman, you were at the first drag stock 20 years ago, Jackson, South Carolina.
Yes, sir. I was the
Tell me about how you got there.
I was the fourth one in the threes there. And we
Why though? Because you're so passionate about drag racing. What were you doing the night before you drove all the way to Jackson, South Carolina and Carolina Dragway, the House of Hook, for drag stock?
We were at Kennedale, Texas, and we won that night before. And then we drove all along and got a couple shots at the track, and we were the fourth person in the threes.
Yep, missed it by that much.
Yep, but
so
things that happens.
Listen, Howard Stern said it best. It's like the president of the United States, not our current one, because it's a lot lower than that. But 50% if 50% of your audience loves you and I get it. I wear my Fathead sunglasses. By the way, this and every episode of Adrenaline is always brought to you by Fatheads Eyewear, my main man, Rico. Appreciate him very much. But I'm going to take these off so that there's no confusion and everybody can see right in my eyes for a second. I'm tired of people forgetting about the history of drag racing. There's a sign that hangs above the toilet, the loo, in my bathroom. And it says, never forget where you came from or who helped you get there.
Yes.
Now, people can call Kenny Nowling a lot of fucking things. One thing they can't call him is not passionate about drag racing. Okay? Yep. Paid out millions and millions over the years. And we're going to pay out millions and millions more. And when Kenny Nowling, Dave Wood, Tommy Leeper owned the American Drag Racing League back from 2004 all the way to the end of 2010, did you ever pay a penny out of your pocket for anything? What say you, Madman?
Nope. Never paid a penny to enter. Never paid. I don't think we even paid to test sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. Okay. And maybe that's because you're the star of the show, man. You are Tom fucking Cruise, man. You are Top Gun. You are Maverick.
Amen.
Okay, and I'm going to ask you to shell out because you know why? Because I'm either A, I'm going to knock shit over in a minute. I'm either A, incapable of going out and getting the sponsorships necessary. Look, I take all the blame. I've carried the burden for 13 fucking years. Get over it. I got in business with the wrong guy who made a lot of promises about doing a lot of things. Promises, same promises that were made to you and Wes Johnston and many others, I might add. Fair to say?
Yep.
Lots of broken promises. I don't want to lead the witness.
Yeah.
So
he was good to me because he did take care of me sometimes whenever I needed it. So
right. And yours truly. He was good to all of us until he wasn't. The point is I don't blame Shea Khaled for any of that. I'll say it right into the camera.
No.
Don fucking Greenbaum, who's no longer employed by the royal family or has anything to do with guitar, by the way. That greedy little prick was who even knows? That's I don't want to see Trump's tax records, but I'd like to see his.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause
Ain't
he
no
probably-
telling how much of KH's money ended up in his pocket, not where it belonged.
Yep.
My point is this, Frankie, if I even have one at this point, this thing is a good drag race. If you got a subscription to Flow Sports, jump on, watch it. If you're near Braden, Florida, go buy a ticket, whatever. There's going to be a lot of badass race cars there.
A lot of badasses. Yep.
Okay? But it's a gambler's race, and I'm about trying to, if everybody wants to talk about growing the sport of drag racing, let's all collectively get together and let's do it. Let's quit talking about it, because I believe me, we're doing it. We did it once, and we're going to do it again.
Yes.
The money that went into, you just said that the Savage is available for $200 and what $1,000?
$3,000.
How many chassis
I
builders?
think I saw that.
Turn into
Yeah.
$1 million?
That's $250,000. You know, my car don't get me wrong. I got a Larry Jeffrey car too, and he helped me, and Mike Ashley helped me, and Jim Oddie helped me back in the day, and that's how me and Larry met, and we've been buddies ever since. He's like the brother I never had. Oh, well, I had a brother. I'm just saying he's like my other brother.
Hey, Paul. Sorry, Paul.
Brother
Hey,
from a
real
different
quick before I go any further, Madman, do
Yeah.
you have any announcements you need to make? Anything you want to get off your chest? Anything you want to get out? Got any
I've been talking-
grandbabies coming? Anything like that?
I've been talking to who that wasn't the guy. I don't remember his name, and he just told me I need to be faster, but then they give us rules to where we can't be faster.
Oh yeah, okay. I just chimed in.
I forgot his name. I can't remember. And he
I
says,
wasn't trying to bust balls. And listen, I went right up to him, shook his hand,
"Yeah,
parked right next to you.
y'all are
Extreme
best.
Raceway Park, Ferris, Texas.
Ain't y'all best friends
Won
now?"
the race, number one qualifier, best. Keith Haney and I have no issues with Keith Haney whatsoever.
Yep.
We just have a way of doing business.
Right?
I have no issue with PDRA. We have a different way of doing business.
You know, you would have never went broke if you done it his way, because you would basically get the payout from the racers, and we just race for our own money.
Thank you.
I mean,
There it is.
you would have
So
never
here's
went broke.
what I'd like to. You know what'd be fun, Frankie?
Yeah.
You just gave me a great idea. Here's what'd be fun. Let's see if we can get our controller on next week. Let's see if we can get Kathy on, Dr. Fears.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the first ADRL race. Hell, we'll take it even further. I don't even know what they're paying NHRA to run Pro Mod nowadays.
Oh,
I know
don't
they're not running for $10,000 and $2,000 to qualify,
Yep.
10 to win, and 50 to win the championship, and a $50,000 shootout.
That's what we need to go back. Yep.
Okay, thank you, Dave Wood. Thank you, Tommy
Dave
Leeper.
Woods and Tommy Leeper, yes, and because all three of y'all was involved. It was the main thing, Shoot, I chased NHRA until you had to pay $1,000 to enter. Remember?
Yeah.
It went down to that, and I was like, oh, I can't afford that no more.
Which is exactly why Dave Wood and I got together with Tommy Leeper, and we all said,
ADRL.
this horse barn isn't for us. We keep getting kicked in the nuts. And like Uncle Roy said, I don't want to hear another word out of you about getting kicked in the nuts. This is the NHRA's horse barn. If you want to do something different, you want to stand somewhere else, go build your own horse barn. That was the initial seed, that initial little pebble, as Wes Johnston said, that hit the water, that started the ripple effect. It led to unprecedented growth in every measurable. And people are saying, well, what have you done for me lately? Hang the fuck on and watch.
It's coming.
Hold on. This freight train is coming, Jack.
You're like almost like Trump. Like you're like, you know what I'm saying? You got it's coming. Hope make America great, make drag racing great.
Yeah.
Listen,
Make drag
I'll
racing
take
great
that
again.
All day long.
Long.
Because I'll ask the public this question, and then I'll ask the drag racing public the next one.
Yep.
Is your life better off now than it was before the current administration
It was way better.
brought into office?
It's way better.
Give me one example.
Oh, he ain't got no examples.
Thank you. Dr.
Thank
Fear,
you.
anything? Prince Adam, I'm
We're about to be in war, and it ain't
Yeah.
no
right. So staying on point as it applies to drag racing,
Yeah.
I get it. But it's a huge gambler's race.
Yep. And I like it.
And promoters are going to promote.
Yep.
And I would, you know what? I would personally go buy a ticket to watch that, the World Series of Pro Mod, the Pro All-Star Shootouts, Superstar Shootout, the Skag Power Equipment. Let me get in all the sponsors.
Yep.
If those sponsors were paying the purse. But they're not.
They're paying most of it on that deal. We all paid on the World Series of Pro Mod. There was supposed to be 40 cars at $2,500 apiece, and we're going to win 100,000. So we paid the purse. Well, there was 62 cars there. I sucked. So I was like number 53 or something. But I mean, We literally bolted in my car over, well, it's not my car, it's Jay Dietrich's car, 300 pounds in order to try to qualify, and something we'd never done. You know what I'm saying? We got there to try to test, and we had new car blues because the car's been sitting for 5 years. And then, so we lost some testing, and I'm not blaming nobody. It's my fault.
Listen, like the Berkster says, you can't be a victim if you're a volunteer.
Nope, exactly.
You loaded up, you drove there, you did it, and I'm not knocking it.
Nope.
What I am knocking is the idea of putting on and saying these things are the biggest in the world. And again, Drag Illustrated, Drag Palooza back in 2008.
That was
title sponsor. If you go back to those issues of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, ADRL took up a whole lot of ink in the magazine. Okay. Wes is a wonderful human who's passionate. First and foremost, he's a great guy. He's a wonderful father, the best I can tell. He's a good husband, and he's been a good friend. This is not an attack on Wes Bucks. Put Wes Buck to the side. It's just this whole thing that was started under the administration that followed me into the ADRL, kind of like the one that followed Trump into the White House.
That skinny guy's got 2 different.
How to go get millions of dollars in sponsors, since we don't know how, we're too lazy, or we don't know how. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
If we can't do that, then what we'll do is we'll charge the racers.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We'll make them listen. We'll charge the racers, and so just tell it like it is.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know what's the entry fee for. Let me tell you what the entry fee for Pro Extreme and Pro Nitrous are.
It's zero.
Nada. You want to know why? Thanks to great partners like Fatheads, like CPM Machining, like Champion Ford, like Advanced Concrete Finishing, and a lot others that we'll be announcing in the coming weeks. We wanted to, and things got kind of thrown into a tizzy here, and I appreciate you jumping in with us, Madman. Not being able to be in the beautiful studios, et cetera, et cetera. Dr. Peters, from an outside perspective, the floor is yours. Ask me anything you want to about why I'm so up on the chip.
I'm on the chip too. I've been arguing with everybody on the computers and talking stuff, and it's like okay, question. If, and this is a different series, but if you got cars that run within a few thousands, why does one car get 75 pounds?
Because, and I love him, Keith Haney. I love you.
No names. I didn't say no names. You know what's his name?
I'm saying names because I love Keith Haney, but he drives a nitrous car.
Yeah, a nitrous car. They didn't get no weight, but they were 3,000.
And that's okay. That's his series.
They both
but if Summit Racing Equipment and J&A Services and all these people behind it, that's all great. Why are you still charging the racers a fuck ton of money to get in? And I don't want to hear anybody bring up 2013. Let me shut 2013 down real quick. And that was your idea earlier.
That was your boy.
You think we get our controller on? Just get our controller on, and we take, Frankie, check this out. We take what the current entry fees are for Pro Boost and Pro Nitrous. We go back to the start of the ADRL in 2004.
They used to run 2 classes. We
just had 2 before we had 6. When we just had 2. But let's just go back to the beginning, and let's charge the same entry fees, okay? Yep. And I'll have Kathy, our controller, send out invoices to you and everybody else for all those back entry fees that I never collected.
Right.
Are you on the right side of history when it comes to Kenny Nowling? I just want to know.
I'm on the right side, yes. Like I've told them before, like, well, Kenny did this, Kenny did that. I say, he never did it to me. He's always been good to me. There's maybe 1 or 2 that got burned, but then maybe they asked for it. I don't know.
Hey, all I'm telling you is we had a line out the door at the PRI show to take care of business. Yeah. So, and people showed up. Scott Hence's dad showed up, picked up a $50,000 check, and spent like 3 nights there because we were doing it on Saturday. Yep. He drove through the night from Texas to do it. I digress. Dr. Fears, let's shift gears.
Yes.
You're an outside perspective you brought, which is one of the reasons our partnership's been so successful in the early going and will continue to be. From an outside look, from a business standpoint, how much growth can one weekend of drag racing where the participants are paying the majority of the purse, if not all of it, how much growth can the drag racing industry as a whole, in your opinion, see as a result of that?
Well, you've asked me that question. I've thought about it several times, and there's just no way. It's like, I mean, you can give it all the lip service you want, but from a financial point, it makes 0 sense. You can't. It doesn't do anything for the sport or for anyone, really, other than a big dog and pony show.
Mhm.
And listen, maybe the number's less than 50%. Like right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Frankie, if 50% of the country loves you and 50% of your audience hates you, you're having a great day.
Yeah,
I know my shtick and my bald head, my $100 bills and my big mouth, but you know what? I have poured my heart and soul into this sport so that guys like you could race on safe tracks in front of huge crowds. There will be more people in Rockingham than there have.
and the whole race. Yeah,
You know where I'm going?
yes,
Combined. Like
Yes.
take every door slammer race that's happened since I don't even know when. Okay. There's going to be more people in Rockingham than those races combined. Okay.
yes.
So, and next year that will just continue to pick up momentum, and sponsors and partners and racers will continue to come home, and it'll be great for everybody.
We're going to have Dan and Al install more stands after this year.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And they'll gladly do it because they're great guys and they're great for our sport.
But hey, Kenny, to your point, I mean, the bottom line
Yeah.
is that, you know, the racers put, you know, they sacrifice their time with their families, every ounce of and look, I'm not a professional drag racer, but I understand and I see it. And, you know, coming from a music standpoint, it's almost kind of the same thing. It's a different industry. However, I mean, you should be able to reap the rewards of all of the blood, sweat, and tears and hard work and sacrifice and the grind and decades of knowledge and everything else to be able to Amber Alert, perfect timing. To be and then be able to go participate at these events and not have to pay to participate. It makes no fucking sense to me. 0 cents.
We appreciate what y'all are doing. I mean, the racing. I can see Kenny's lips moving. I'm sure
Kenny, you might be muted or
Yeah.
you're messing
Yeah.
with us.
Yeah, we can't hear you. No, we can't hear.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Nothing?
Oh, there
No,
it is.
there-
You're good.
I just got, it's like the hits keep coming today.
I know. I just got the Amber Alert at the same time.
I got the Amber Alert, man. Frankie, did you just get the Amber Alert too?
I don't know. My phone went off. It showed everything black.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what.
that's
Yeah.
funny.
So anyway, an Amber Alert just came in, so I didn't know what was going on. Here's all I'm saying, guys. I'll finish this part of my. I'll jump off the soapbox after this. If you're going to every day say that you're doing everything in your power, and this isn't directed at anybody, I'm talking about as a community of drag racing, and that's what we are. We're one big family, okay? If you're going to say that your ultimate goal is to grow the sport of drag racing, $1.3 million, I'm pretty sure without a title sponsor right now for next year, NHRA could probably do a shit ton of money. And NHRA, like them, love them, or hate them, they've been there for going on 70 years. Thanks to a lot of people's blood, sweat, and sacrifice, and paid out tens of millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. And I've had my own issues with NHRA. We all have.
Yep.
What's good for drag racing is a thriving NHRA, a thriving IHRA, a thriving ADRL, PDRA, radio versus the world,
Midwest.
all of it. As Robert says, all of them.
States.
Okay. People say, well, there's only so many cars to go around, this, that, and the other. In the ADRL's heyday and the NHRA Pro Mods heyday, you'll remember you ran the NHRA Pro Mod Series. One year we ran a combined ADRL NHRA tour.
Yep.
And
Yes,
we added a couple Jeg Sports Nationals to it. It was a 16 race grind.
Yep.
You know, so again, it's hot. I'm a little bit pissy, but
Yeah.
I was embarrassed after I got off the air last week. It's been burning in my gut ever since, because Robert Ty, God love him, with Advanced Concrete Finishing, one of our great sponsors for drag stock, put me on the money. He messaged in, what do you think of this pro superstar shootout? And I played politically
Kenny,
correct.
I thought he sent you a text message of a picture of like a Tampax box or something. Like a
He's been riding me relentlessly. Gloves are off, bitch. The only thing I'm more excited about is the Liberty Eagles tomorrow night. KJ Nowling, former drag stock winner, thank you very much. KJ Nowling, the defensive coordinator and safeties coach for the Liberty Eagles now. Moving on up in the world of football. Yeah. Taking
Awesome.
on our hated rivalries, the Timberland Wolves. I've never seen an eagle eat a wolf, but tomorrow night it's going to be fun as fuck to watch. You know how an eagle eats a wolf, Frankie?
I don't know, but we're gonna see it tomorrow night, right?
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time.
Fucking eyes out, and anyway. So good luck to the Liberty Eagles in your 2024 campaign. Brother Fierce.
Yes, sir.
Back to drag stock. I'll settle down a little bit. Back to drag stock. So we've got drag stock, Frankie, coming up. You're looking for your 4th Pro Extreme, September 29th and 30th. You're looking to become the first 4-time winner of drag stock. You're already the only 3-time winner. Shannon the Iceman Jenkins has won it twice in Pro Nitrous. I asked Bubba Stanton who he thought was his toughest competition. I asked Clyde Scott who he thought his was the toughest competition. And I don't want you to be politically correct, or I'll send the Tampax to Dickinson, Texas. Does it piss you off a little bit that it wasn't your name that they mentioned? I mean, let's just be honest.
I'm going to show them something. I'm going to show them why they should fear the Frankie, the Madman.
Fear the Madman.
Hey, Jason Scruggs, I'll ask you. Who's your number one? Who's the guy whose ass you want to kick the most when you roll through the gates at Rockingham?
That's a good question. You got Bubba. He's pretty good. You got Scruggs supposedly coming back. Who knows what he's going to do? Like, he's only got 17 cars, and you know, they're not light enough for him now. I think he's put on some weight. So his cars are not light enough now. So the last car got converted back to an NHRA car, I guess. But he's got this super light outlaw car coming. That'll be a fun show. I don't think Clyde's coming. I mean, I know everybody says, "Oh, Clyde will be there." I don't know if he can. I don't know if he will. I just.
What makes you say that?
Oh, huh?
What makes you say that? Clyde has already gone on record that him and Gary Lynch and the Big Red Bear, they're all
going to drive from Dallas to Rockingham, North Carolina. That is way further than he's driven in 10 years.
Well, now,
okay. All combined.
In fairness, that is true. But, you know, Clyde was, I think, 405, 406 at that inaugural drag stock. He was up with the hit back when that was hauling ass, and he did make that long haul way back then. Now, do I have any delusions that Clyde Scott's going to get over the wheel of that 18-wheeler and drive into Rockingham? No. Do I think the Big Red Bear will be on the property? Yes, sir, I do.
If he hires somebody to drive the rig, there's a good chance he might show up if it makes it there.
Well, you know, I'll say this. Clyde Scott will be there.
I'm hoping he's there.
Jason Scruggs, congratulations.
So you got the 3. You got the Bubba Stanton. You got the Clyde. You got the Jason Scruggs. You got, I don't know if Brandon's coming. He might come. You got, you know, that's probably the main ones you're really worried about.
Well, and then you don't know who could sneak up and bite you in the ass. There's this guy with a nitrous car named Doug Reister who's not running nitrous.
Doug Reister scares me more than anybody. If you should ask Bubba that, because Doug Reister, yes, can beat you on any night. Like any night. Like, he's the fastest nitrous car. I'm not sure how fast Halsey, but I don't think Halsey's been a 50 yet either. But on big tires, one of the
nitrous trim, legal or outlaw.
The only thing that's been in the 50s is a radial tire car. And that's because on that glued up track that they got, that tire is badass on a glued up track.
Well, I know one thing. PJ1, I would be willing to bet that Donald Long is, if not their best, one of their best customers.
Yeah, you got to use 50.
Unless he uses the VP traction stuff. Whatever he's using, he's spending a lot of money. And God bless him, because he puts on killer shows.
He puts on killer shows.
Dr. Fierce,
yes,
you
sir.
could go to the tag race. What do we got here? I can't read. I got no glasses. I got this light out of my element. Somebody's going to have to help me out with that.
I'm going to put on some
list tonight. Readers. Are we going to hear the entry list tonight?
Are we going to hear the entry list tonight?
Only because of the big announcement, and we want to be in the studio, and we want to do it right. We are going to push that back a week, so we'll just leave you on the hook. but we will have the pre-entry list next week where it stands. There'll be a few more names added to it by then, so it'll be even better. And there's one name that might be on that entry list that is going to blow your mind, Frankie.
Hopefully, John Force. Hopefully,
Brother.
Huh?
Hey, I'll say it right here. Bigger than that.
What? Nobody.
Yeah.
Bigger than that.
Is Keith Haney coming?
Bigger than that.
Bigger than that.
Dr. Fears, if I'm dying, I'm dying. If this deal, and it's together, we just got to put the little finishing touches on it. You know, listen, people from the South, they live and do things a little bit slower. So the wheels of everything move a little bit slower. That's fine. September 29th and 30th, the wheels will be moving plenty fast in the South when we hit Richmond County, North Carolina. But it will be the biggest news in Door Slammer racing since drag stock.
Hopefully, he's got a little nitro in it, so we can.
He won't need it, but he will definitely go on that list of people.
Who could it be?
Oh, who could it be now?
Do, 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 do.
Huh. Who could it be?
Who could it be?
Are you gonna give any kind of clue?
I'm giving no clue because if I'm not going to
no clue.
2013. I learned my lesson the hard way. You don't promote anything till the money's in the bank.
Exactly.
Okay. So just call it what it is.
Yeah.
Until this deal is done, and I've heard, and both guys involved, their word is solid as oak and gold. So I'll say goat.
Shannon Jenkins.
It'll be the big news in ever. Now you want to talk about some big news, and if we can keep it going into 2024, holy shit.
That'd be good.
Yeah. So with that, I'll just leave it teasing. Next week, we should be back in the beautiful air-conditioned studios. I'll be remote because I'll be in Rockingham, but that's okay. Dr. Fears will be there, and I might be sitting with the person who could potentially be wheeling a Pro Extreme car at drag stock. How you like that? Ooh.
Roy Hill said he's driving, right?
It'll be the biggest news since the National Guard came on as our title sponsor and helped Flowmaster ADRL reach new heights.
Wait, well, book me down to race him second round of qualifying, whoever it is.
I will absolutely do that.
Yeah, put me down as number as we race for the second qualifying lap. Put me down next to him.
Deal.
I don't even know who he is, but or she. It could be a she.
It could be.
It could be a she.
It could be a he, she.
Age, who knows?
We don't know.
It could be a he that identifies as a she. I don't know.
It may be. But put me down for I'll match race whoever it is, the second round of qualifying. It could be a jet car. I don't know. I've done that before. It could be Yanni Lindbergh driving.
You've raced dual altered. You've raced everything. You'll line up against anything in the other lane.
I'll line up against anything. It don't matter. John Force coming out there on radio.
If I have to work the night, have to work the night shift at the BP station, up the road from Rockingham Dragway for the next month straight, while I'm not out promoting and distributing tickets and making sponsorship calls and doing what we do every day. If I can get out of that hamster wheel and I have to work the night shift to make this happen at the convenience store, I'll do it.
I'll do it.
When Hardee's came on board as a sponsor, I worked a drive-through in Valdosta, Georgia.
I'll
do it. I'll do it.
It's going to be good.
Buddy. Is it ever?
We got XRP as a warm-up not this weekend, coming up, but next weekend.
Yes.
Our buddy Clyde there. And then we got drag his ass. And hopefully we'll get over this time. Last time I couldn't see the tree. I'm putting a different hat on my car. So we can see the tree. So, yeah.
So you're, and as you get more comfortable from the competition's perspective,
yes,
you're getting more comfortable in that car. You showed that at Dragpalooza.
Yes, we're getting comfortable, and it's getting faster every time we take it out. It's going to go faster this next weekend, and you're going to cry. I steal that track record in the heat. With this old
track, your world record, everybody's gunning for September 29th and 30th.
I'll be gunning for that too. But we're going to try to set the record at XRP in the heat with this old Brad 5. Because, Galen like lets me in on stuff. He goes, "Ben, if you don't quit picking on Clyde," he says he's going to quit racing and shut the track down. So I had to borrow this car from my buddy Jay Dietrich. This stuff is been sitting for 5 or 6 years in the top of a trailer at his farm. It had 3 inches of dust on it. We drug this thing out, and we have went pretty quick with it so far, but not fast enough yet because it's been faster. It's been 52 or 54 or something like that. We went 55.0, which I think is still the quickest pass of this year in a door car. Even though I'm not at that bullshit weight you got to be for them other things, I say we take all the weight out of these things and let's just let them eat. But I can't get Wes to go with that.
Amen.
Let them eat. Let's just see who's got the fastest door cars.
That's it. That is it. That is exactly it.
I mean,
that's
Haney's the world's worst. Haney's car should make over 3,400 horsepower because somebody else's car did. Okay, on the Fuel Tech dyno with a nitrous car. So at 3,400 horsepower, that's probably more than we make at the rear tire.
Mm.
Ooh, yeah. At the rear tire. That's a lot of horsepower at the rear tire.
Our boy Mark Mickey made 4,779 horsepower in that turbo car. He's probably going to, if he shows up, he's probably going to run 230 because he can take all the weight out. He's going to run 230 mile an hour. We ain't seen that since Carl Stevens did that back 12 years
Do you
ago.
think, so here's a good question. Do you think that they'll be ready for that kind of speed? I mean, you take all the weight out and you rip it. I mean, is it like, oh shit, that went way fast? Like, you hope that it goes faster, but are there things you have to do to be prepared to go faster than what you expected?
I never go faster than I want to expect it. I expect to go faster. And sometimes it just don't happen. It's like, man, that felt slow. And you went at 53. Well, shit, it felt slow. It should have went 47 or better. I never think I can't go no faster because we're going faster.
No, that makes sense.
And so, in your humble opinion, well, obviously the weather's a major factor.
Right. If we have good
cooperating weather, do we see a 40 in drag stock?
We're hoping to be. Yes, we are planning on
that
40s in drag stock.
Listen, Frankie the Madman Taylor, if the air is
good,
comparable to what you had,
yes, we are going 40.
What year was that? 2014 or something?
I think so, 14 or 15.
Okay.
Yeah, 14, I think.
With Pro Extreme being back to what it was, its outlaw roots.
Yeah, but we all gained weight. We're all fatter now than we used to be because of all these.
Hey, don't tell that to Hank Stubbs.
Oh no, he's been on
no shit, right?
I need to get on that diet. I need to get back down to 190.
Listen, just listen. You could knock 20 pounds off before drag stock. It just takes a little discipline. Fears will tell you, I'm not just thinner in the face here. I've actually, I've lost my fat roll, and I don't know what to do. I don't have any place to hide my pens and pencils now.
That's crazy.
I still got a lot of weight to lose. Don't get me wrong. I'm not stepping in your car anytime soon. But I'm going to ask you again. I'm putting you on the money. I'm not going to let you off the hook here.
I'm going in the 40s. I'm going in the 40s. And
okay.
The air is good. If the air is good,
comparable to what it was when you went in the 40s, you're saying now, again, let's not forget Advanced Concrete Finishing, those wonderful people, the Ties, Robert and Pam, they just put 800 foot of wall-to-wall new concrete on that drag strip. So the strip you ran on that was basically 30, 40 years old at the time is now. So
if people want to see history, they need to come to drag stock.
Amen.
Because it's coming.
And you know what I guess, Dr. Fears, Frankie, ADRL Nation, Prince Adam, no apologies for getting up on the tire because it's so fucking hot. It's hotter than the 7 gates of hell out here.
Yeah.
But here's why. Because all day we make phone call after phone call after phone call. People are so worried with corporate America about how the election's going to turn out that they're keeping the purse strings tight, right? But that's not stopping me from making phone call. You know, it'd be the easiest thing in the world for Ryan and I and our entire team at Adrenaline Event Promotions, the parent company of the American Drag Racing League. You know, it'd be the easiest thing for us to do instead of making those 100 phone calls a day.
Charge your racers. If you charge the race,
That's why I get so up on the chip about it. There's
If you
people
charge
actually
the
out here working their fucking asses off, away from their families, sacrificing, while you are out taking every penny you've got to
To
put
work.
race cars together, race teams together, to pay ridiculous fuel costs that have gone up in the last 3 years astronomically.
Yes.
Tell me the economy's better
Yeah.
than it was.
It's
One
not.
person, you show me one person, and then show me one person that is better off with the racers paying the purses.
Nobody's better.
I'll wait.
It's not.
I'll wait. I'll set up a table at the PRI show, put a sign in front of it. Prove me wrong.
I may not be coming to PRI show because of the fact that my daughter, that's about the time we're supposed to have a grandchild.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Congratulations.
It'd be real fun if it comes early and I can sneak off to PRI, I'll be there. But it doesn't.
Well, there's no doubt about your support of the sport of drag racing, and that's what gets me so up on the tires, Frankie. That's what gets me so wound up, is because there's so many people. And not only that, and Scott Palmer just reminded us all of this, right?
Yes.
You're risking your life every time you get in there to put on a show so that Dr. Fears, myself, our staff can make a living in drag racing, just like the 30-plus people that were previously employed by the ADRL.
Yep. Okay?
And if I had wanted to take the time, I could name each and every one of them, because I owe every one of them a debt of gratitude beyond measure.
We all do. We all do.
There was a whole group of people, right? But I'll tell you this. A thriving ADRL was as good. I'm not going to say humbly or with humility or fuck all that.
Yep.
A thriving ADRL was better for the sport of drag racing than anything that's happened since the turn of the century.
Yes, you are correct.
Anybody want to jump on the chat and argue that? Come, please. I welcome all the questions.
Yeah. Well,
Any
the brother-
questions for you, Dr. Spears? And I apologize, man. You have been very kind in allowing me to just go on this rant, man.
Bro, I don't even think about it. I love it. I mean, I love it. It gets me going. And no, man, I got you, bro. You
do.
I
That
got
right
you,
there,
man.
You know who else had me once upon a time? Dave Wood and Tommy Leeper.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yes.
look at the growth that we saw when I had somebody with a set of balls, values, and a little bit of money behind me. Look at what we all did.
Yeah.
Look at what we accomplished. So anybody that says, and there are a few people out there, but it's because they made it personal. So let's just clear the air right now. The few people that quote unquote didn't get paid, you got paid.
I got paid.
I don't know you a penny.
Nope.
You people that haven't, you made it personal.
Yep.
You can fucking hate on me all day long. He's such a big-headed, fat-mouthed piece of shit. I wish he'd just go away. He could cure cancer and I'd still hate him. But don't ever bring my family into it.
Right.
Because somebody's taking a nap. It might be me.
Yep.
But you bring my family into it, which is why those same cowards didn't show up at the PRI show to get their check,
Yep.
which all cleared the fucking bank. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Dr. Fierce has an important question for you before we let you get back to work. Because I know you're working right now, because that's what you do. You are a blue-collar, hard-working American who's getting ready to spend a fuck ton of money, come to Dragstock and risk his life, and you think I'm going to put my hand out at the gate and say, hey, Frankie, I'm going to need $2,500 or $3,000 before you drop your door. I'm going to need a golf cart sticker. I'm going to need a this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm the same way.
Hey, Madman. So as you could tell in the back, man, I'm a music guy.
Right.
Love guitar. I'm a big music guy. So, in my lifetime, and I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and, I had young parents that listened to albums. And so I grew up listening to Alice Cooper and Led Zeppelin and Steely Dan and lots of good stuff. Right.
Right.
And then a long line of family in the bluegrass industry, right? Country too. So this is a little segment we call In the Pocket, or In the Groove, I should say. So for you, whenever you're getting ready to make a pass, or you're at camp and you guys are working on your car or whatever you got going on, you're just kind of clearing your head and getting in that groove. do you have anything particular that you like to listen to, or is there anything that gets your blood going, gets a little visceral, or some song that's playing through your head when you're ready to make a hit and blast on the track? Is there anything in particular that you like to listen to?
Let me tell you what I like to listen to. We've listened to rock and roll to get ready. But the sweetest music is when we're in the final round and I walk over, because I do it to everybody, whether I'm low ET or whether they're low ET. Hey, you want to split in the final? And they say, well, no, it's not fair to my guys, so let's don't split. Because then that gives me all kind of pumped up, and we drag their ass most of the time. Way more money than I have received. Let me put it that is music to my ears. Ask my buddy Brandon Snyder. He did that once. And, there's been a whole bunch of people that said, nah, man, it just wouldn't be fair because we're faster than you. And then, bam, what happened there?
So that's the music to your ears. I love it.
I like it. Because then I get the whole 10,000.
20 years later, you're coming to drag stock to race for another 10 grand to win.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
No entry fees, none of that bullshit. And for all the guys, and we have fun with it. And again, I'll say this one last time, just so that if they didn't watch the beginning of the show and they're just now tuning in, I love Wes Buck. He's great for the drag racing. His passion is great. He's doing a good job promoting the races. I only ask, let's get these boys with Skag and Capco and all these other guys. Let's get corporate America to put up the money, not the racers, okay? Yes. And the same thing with Keith Haney or the PDRA or whatever. That's all I'm asking, man. Because it would be so easy for me. Because if all things being equal,
if racers, you'd have a lot more money.
Okay? I'm sitting in the basement. My air conditioner's not working.
Yeah.
I can afford to fill up the pool this spring.
Yeah.
I don't have one anymore, Frankie.
We appreciate everything y'all do. Thank y'all very much.
And that's why we do it. I mean, truly. Dr. Fury, day we come in. Two things. Failure's not an option.
Nope.
Racers are priority number one.
That's right. And proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. 7 P's.
Great.
7 P's.
Hey, let me get out to Scott Palmer, man. We sure hate that he went through that stuff. And
yeah.
Real good friend of mine, and I just hate it.
Hate it so much.
But you guys,
all the people, man.
But again, though. He did let JR beat him, and then he'd come by and blaze the glory.
Oh, my. Even in his worst of moments, Palmer, the people's champ, put on the fucking show of a lifetime.
Yes.
On fire, and then if that wasn't good enough, he's like, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if Palmer's in there, right? Yeah. On fire. You know what? Let's just yank this bitch and see how many barrel rolls we can do. Let's put on a show. Let's put on a show.
Yep. I can see that too.
Surprise me a lick. He'll take a broken wrist. There's a reason that Evel Knievel is Scott Palmer's idol.
Yes.
Okay. If Evel Knievel were alive.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. If Evel Knievel were alive, brother.
Yes.
If Evel Knievel were alive, he'd be the biggest Scott Palmer fan on the planet.
Yeah.
Scott drag races the way that Evel Knievel lived life.
Yes.
And he lives his life like that. And again, that's why, singularly, you don't have to look for two reasons as to why I get so pissed off about this. It would be so fucking easy to push in the clutch, pull the chutes, and just say, hey, Frankie, I'm sorry, but it's $2,500 to get into drag stock. And you know what? Because you want to run your car and because you want to run it in front of a shit ton of people, you'd probably pay it and pay it happily. Yep. But guess what?
I'd pay it.
You'd pay it. I'm not saying happily, but listen, well, hell, I will say this. If you're going to pay $2,500 or $2,000 or $1,800 or whatever, wouldn't you like to at least race in front of a stand full of people?
Yes, I would. Yes, sir.
I mean,
that's a great point. That's a great point.
If anybody should be charging an entry fee, I guess. But anyway, listen, all bullshit aside, if there's anybody that doesn't like hiding behind rule books, just show up September 29th and 30th.
Exactly. I challenge everybody. We race whoever shows up.
Yes.
All of them.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it does not matter. If I can't beat you, Clyde can beat you. If Clyde can't beat you, Bubba can beat you. If Bubba can't beat you, Scruggs can beat you. Guaranteed. So bring them over heavyweight cars out with the Liberty 5 speeds and your lockup and all that stuff. Get it as light as you can. As light as you can. Bring that bitch at 2200. We can't get there, but maybe y'all can. So, and we'll go in the 40s with us.
You got all day Thursday and Friday.
Yes.
You got all day on the 27th and 28th to get that shit right. Or the 28th and 29th, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Bring it on. And there's a lot of people. The entry list will surprise you. You're going to be very happy, man. You're going to have a lot of faces that you get to line up against potentially. And we're thrilled about that. So, listen.
Yeah, they're all your friends. That's right.
Forget about me. You love me, you hate me, whatever.
It don't matter about Kenny.
10,000 to win.
We're going to have fun.
Paid in cash. Badass Iron Eagle trophy coming back. You've got some. You know them. You're one of the few people that actually have the Iron Eagle and a Minuteman.
Yes, I got both of them.
Yes. So
from whatever they call that thing. Yep, Arabia Drag Racing League.
Yeah, you got a few of those from the Arabian Drag Racing League.
Yep, Arabian Light Drag Racing League. I got a few of those. We won over in Qatar.
So listen, right? Here's the thing. It costs you nothing. Right. Even our test fees are cheaper than anybody else's on the planet. If you want to test, you don't have to.
Nope.
If you don't test, it literally costs you nothing. In other words, you as a racer will not, professional racer will not hand me one penny or hand our gate staff or anybody for anything. You need an extra car pass. I need a motorhome to park next to my motorhome in the pits. Okay. Yes. You want to put 3? Paul Brandt, you want to park yours sideways and you want to put... it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can do it, but I
got
that patch of dirt right there. That $200, Frankie, sound fair for an extra motorhome? I mean, come on, man.
I'm the same rant you're on. I'm just
work the phones, man, and get drag racing back where it was, because ultimately, and again, Scotty, get well. We love you, the people's champ. You're one of my lifelong heroes. I love you and admire you as much as you love and admire Evel Knievel, if that puts it into perspective.
Yes.
Frankie, you guys risk your life and limb. You shouldn't have to pay for the right to do it.
Right.
I'm going to leave everybody with this. We've lost some people in drag racing, indoor slammer drag racing in the recent years. You know how disgusting it is to me that those people, they literally paid for the privilege to sacrifice their life doing what they love. You can't be a victim if you're a volunteer. I get all that.
Yep.
But the people that we've lost paid for the privilege to do that. That should set in somebody's gut. Let that resonate with you for a little bit. These guys and gals risk their lives to put on a show so that we can pass out hundreds of thousands of free tickets, let American families come in for $20 a carload and see a world-class show, not a cover band, baby. This is the Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, the whole group, all of them. To coin Robert Ty one more time, I'll be damned if somebody is ever going to risk their life and pay for the privilege of doing so. Not on my watch. So, Dr. Fierce, miss you tonight, buddy. I'm going to really miss our after party. You're going to have to come in the studio live over the winter, Frankie, just for the after party. They are legendary.
They're good.
I'll come next time y'all got one at Wiley's or something. I'll run down there and check y'all out.
Oh, yeah, man.
You're going to do that next year's for...
Well, we'll be back in Texas in 2024 for the 20th anniversary tour. Don't you worry about that. So,
for sure.
Let me be clear. I am not. I feel like I want to read it off of one of those teleprompter things, you know. But I'll do like Biden. I'll look away, and then everybody freaks out. Everybody panics. Spears and Adams, they're both like, "Oh shit, he's going off teleprompter. What's going to happen?" Not Pierce. That gets a little on me sometimes because I can get a little spun out, as we can see tonight on meds. Literally. Thank you for that. You don't have to pay for the privilege to come risk your life. You should never have to pay for the privilege. And the only subject I'm on the tire about, and what's got me so wound up, Frankie, Dr. Fierce, Prince Adam, ADRL Nation, is the fact that You are just being lazy. You're making your money. You're making your whole race is based on and being held up on the pocketbook of Frankie and Cindy Taylor and so many other people like them. Just fucked up. So I'm not mad at the players. I'm mad at the way they play in the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
it. So I love the players. Keith Haney, we shook hands. We're square as a box.
Yes.
Love you, brother. Tommy and Judy Franklin, Tyler Crossno. Keep kicking ass. I hope PDRA's around for 10 more years.
Yes.
Okay? Wes Buck, keep pumping those great magazines out. But guys, let's all get together and collectively work the phones. Okay?
Drag racing.
Like a Jerry Lewis telethon, work the phones. My hair is so burned up at the end of the day from working the phones and sending emails and all this. Hell yeah, it'd be a lot easier to charge you entry fees. Ain't gonna happen. I'll retire before it does. I'd rather retire than charge you for the privilege of risking your life, Frankie Taylor.
And putting on a show for the fans.
Thank
Amen.
you. So with that,
We'll see y'all next time, and thank y'all for having us on board. And
3-time, I can't wait to see you in Rockingham, brother. Kick some ass at RP, have some fun. I'd love to join you, but we will be promoting our asses off. Monday starts the hard push. We've been in a soft spin, but you know when that hard push comes and that month out, and we've got all hands on deck in Richmond County and 100 miles outside of there in every direction. If you can't find a free ticket in the next week in North Carolina or South Carolina, you're not looking hard enough. Or you can just go to ADRLtour.com and you can just put it on your phone. You don't even have to go find one at the gas station or the O'Reilly's or wherever else.
Yep.
Technology is a wonderful thing. So, and you know what the best thing about technology is, Frankie?
we got cell phones.
Well, huh?
We got cell phones. We can talk to everybody.
Hopefully by this time next year, we could use that technology and everybody that actually votes is registered to vote.
Yes. Yeah, we need that.
That's fun.
Yes, we do need
Let's
that.
put some of that technology to use.
Yes, that'd be real good.
Amen.
Madman, thank you. Thanks to Wes's Collision Center, your good buddy, Wow Wow West, for
Thanks,
sponsoring. Frankie the Madman Taylor coming on here tonight. Wow Wow West putting on the putting up the money so we can have great guests like you. You know, something's got to pay the bills around here. So appreciate Wes for sponsoring the segment.
Hey, do you send me the check or do I get it from Wes? Y'all have a good night.
Have a good night, Frankie. Thanks, brother.
Next time you come on, just so you know, you're going to have to Venmo Adrenaline Event Promotions $300. We're going to start charging our guests to be on the show.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
All right. Don't work too hard. Be safe. Good luck at XRP Fair, Texas, 2 weeks from now. The Larry Jeffers race cars, Outlaw, Ironman, Pro Mod, no rules, no messing around. Show up, bring your shit. Don't hide behind rule books. Because it's funny, Dr. Fears, right? All the people that are complaining about the rules and the rules changes and stuff, those are the exact people that need to be in Rockingham.
Yeah, that's right.
Because then you don't have to worry about it. I promise you, if Frankie Taylor, Jason Scruggs, Clyde Scott, Racer X, we'll call him, Melanie Salemi, anybody, whoever's coming, all of them, if any of them go 345, there are no penalties for that. None. Zero.
Nada.
Matter of fact, it's what we want. You shouldn't be punished for going faster in the sport of drag racing. It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard, and it always will.
How does it? Well, it just makes no sense.
Just like charging racers, professional racers, a sportsman racer, I get it. I'm not the show. When I show up to a national event to run Comp Eliminator back in the day at the U.S. Nationals, I have no problem with whatever entry fee the NHRA wanted to charge me because I'm not the show. Nobody's there to see Comp Eliminator as much as I love it, and I love Super Gas and Super Comp and Top Sportsman, Top Dragster. Nobody's there. Nobody's paying to see that. Okay? They pay that $20 bill to park, and that free ticket is so valuable because they're getting to see the very best of the best indoor slammer drag racing. And those guys and gals should not be the one footing the bill. So that's it. Boom!
Boom!
All right.
Yeah, it was perfect, Kenny. I love it.
Next week, baby, check it out. Racer X. Definitely pre-entry list. You and Prince Adam will be back in the studio. I'll be down in Richmond County. I've already looked at the forecast. It's going to be as hot there as it is here. That's okay. It's okay. Let it be as hot as it wants. And for all the people without air conditioning, we're praying for you, and God bless every one of you. But I'll tell you this, the weather September 29th and 30th, check the Farmer's Almanac. Wow. Spectacular.
Oh, yeah, baby. That's the perfect time of the year. I can just already picture it, man. Just clear skies, no humidity, full moon or almost a full moon, all the stars out there. You can, and it's just going to be lit up and perfect, and just a little bit of briskness, and the cars are going to be ripping it.
Well, don't worry. We'll have hoodies and sweatshirts available at the Adrenaline Zone. Don't you fret.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait for you to experience it. Not just the fries, which are the best in all of drag racing. Dr. Fierce, Prince Adam. Prince Adam, can you bring yourself in here for a minute?
Come on, Prince. Where you at, buddy?
There he is.
There he is.
Yo, baby.
Yeah, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Prince Adam?
And I'll come on for a minute, but wrap this thing up.
So check it out. You guys have never experienced a drag stock. Well, forget drag stock. Rockingham, period. A Rockingham dragway sunset. Indescribable.
Really? So does the track face west?
Sure
does the finish line faces west?
Yes. So starting line, you're looking dead down the track into the sunset. It can be a little tricky when the sun's going down, and we've even had to push back qualifying just a little bit to let it get a little bit lower, because sometimes, right, I'll give you a perfect example. 2004, I was racing Comp Eliminator. Teammates with Mike Ashley, Gotham City Racing. We were both sponsored by Infinite, sponsorship proudly. Nowling Motorsports Management was able to procure. Slur the Band, Tar Pit Records, and all the boys. I'm in my comp car. IHRA didn't run comp back then. So I'm at the Rockingham National event getting some testing in, right? So I'm running Top Sportsman. I pull up, do my burnout. I back up, and Frog, our Frog, was my crew chief at the time, is trying to talk me into the beams over the radio, right? He's like, come on, boss. And I said, Frog, I can't see you. I can't see anything. Total whiteout. I said, I think I killed the motor. Frog is God as my witness, walks over to the chief starter for the International Hot Rod Association in 2004, whomever that was. He takes his sunglasses off, said, I need to borrow these. I'll get them back to you. He opens the car door, and he puts them inside my helmet and shoves them on. And I'm like, he said, better. I said, perfect. Went out and made the run.
Beautiful.
And then I had Frog jump on the motorbike and take the starter's sunglasses back and thank him very kindly with a free T-shirt.
Oh, love it, dude. It's a good one.
So next week, potentially, big-time guest, for sure, the entry list for Drag Stock 2023 at The Rock, September 29th and 30th. Free tickets everywhere, including on our Facebook page, our Instagram, our TikTok. Click like, subscribe, share.
Like,
YouTube,
subscribe, share. Yes.
And then the ADRLtour.com.
All
get
of
them on, or anywhere within 100 miles of Richmond County, starting on Monday. So with that, my brother, miss seeing you and Prince Adam tonight. The after party won't be the same. I wish you both a great week. Have a great weekend. Any big plans before we sign off?
Not in particular. I think the weather's fairly oppressive, so I think staying inside and doing some work sounds good, man. Probably take it easy this weekend.
It's going to be 77 on Saturday. I said I'll believe it when I see it.
Oh, you know what? I did hear that. In that case, I might boat ride up to the island and throw up a tent and do a little camping overnight.
You know what? I'm going to be that business partner and friend right now. The best thing about not having a boat is having a best friend with a boat.
Yeah,
so I'm
down?
Self-inviting the Big Head onto Captain Fear's boat.
Welcome aboard.
Lots of good beverages to be drank, I'm sure. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, my brother. Listen, have a great night, ADRL Nation. Thanks for tuning in every Thursday night right here on YouTube. Adrenaline, starring Dr. Fears and the Big Head. As always, Prince Adam doing a great job behind the scenes. No matter where we are or where he is, he always knocks it out of the park. And
yes,
I can't wait till the show's over. We get to debut Prince Adam's first promo for Dragstock. It's going
Bump on.
live. We as soon as we sign off, baby. So check out the ADRL Facebook page, Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it, Snapchat, or what's that other thing we're on? TikTok. Yeah.
TikTok,
All
Instagram,
the things.
Facebook, YouTube.
Who's
all of
coming
them.
to Dragstock? All of them.
All of them.
God bless.
Peace and chicken grease.